The movie began in the desert of Baghdad, where the team of private security agents volunteered to come on a mission with their leader Luo to take the stuck people from the oil refinery to the safe zone. They reached there in helicopters. Luo met Professor Chang, who led him into the refinery. She told Luo that some people wanted them to evacuate the refinery. They had been attacking them again and again, and now they could not afford one more attack and had to leave that place immediately. Professor told Luo that he had to save 400 people and send them to the green zone. On the other side, a villager named Chris was playing with his golf stick on his truck when his brother Henry came to him. Henry told Chris that he had brought another mission for him and that they would get a lot of money for completing it. Chris told Henry that he would never do anything wrong and refused the job. After that, Chris called a man named Owen to repair the pipeline to extract water from the well. Owen told him that because of the construction of the dam, the water was restricted in that area and he could talk to the headquarters for it, but they needed money. As water was needed to keep the villagers alive, Chris told him that he would arrange the money and told him to do what he could. On the other side in the factory, Luo was planning with his team that they had to save the people of the factory and take them to the safe zone through the highway of death. It would be an 8-hour-long journey. Only then could they reach the green zone. This way was the shortcut, but it was also dangerous. After this, the professor locked the whole system and saved it in a pen drive and kept it in her bag so that everything remained safe. Then she gave her bag to one of her assistants. The assistant of the professor was Luo's daughter, whose name was May. Then they boarded the buses. Someone marked the bus with spray in which the professor and her son were sitting. May was taken to the bus driven by Luo. May was angry with her father because he could not come to her and her mother when her mother was in the hospital. Luo tried to explain that he had been on a secret mission and his country needed him, but she did not listen. Luo told her that when he saw her name in the evacuation list, he decided to bring his team to save her. But she did not believe him. She argued with her father. Seeing the scene there, May became scared because damaged cars were scattered everywhere due to previous accidents and smoke was rising from them into the sky. Luo told his team to keep an eye on both sides and then moved with his bus. But there were 2 cars on the way and the road was blocked. Luo increased the speed and hit the cars, moving them aside. The cars moved aside and blasted due to the bombs planted in them. Luo still did not stop the bus and kept moving. As they moved ahead, Luo saw a big sandstorm coming towards them, but he kept moving forward with the bus. Chris and his team took advantage of the sandstorm and hijacked the bus in which the professor was sitting because of the mark on the bus and took it into their custody. When Luo got the buses out of the storm, all the buses stopped. Then Luo found out that one of the buses was missing, the one that had the professor. Then Xing from his team told him that she had seen it going to the east. Luo then called 2 helicopters so the bus could be found quickly. May insisted on going with Luo. Luo initially hesitated, then took her with him. After going a little farther, Luo saw a truck from the helicopter and understood that there was no real sandstorm because there was a rocket launcher machine that was creating the sandstorm. The enemies had made a fake storm with the help of that machine that was attached to that truck and had hijacked their bus. After some time, Luo spotted his bus. After contacting a girl from his team, he was told that the Americans had kidnapped their 5 people from that bus, including Professor Chang. After this, Luo contacted his team again and told the rest of the buses to reach the green zone. On the other hand, when Chris was moving forward in the car with his teammates, Luo's teammate found the cars of the enemy and began to fire on them from his helicopter. But Chris and his teammates counterattacked with a machine gun and the helicopter got damaged, causing it to fall. Chris brought Henry to their hideout and asked him whose mission it was and told him to tell the truth. Meanwhile, Owen came there, who was Chris's friend, and told him that the mission and the whole plan were his. He had also kidnapped Professor Chang because he had come to know that this desert had a price like gold. Therefore, he wanted to take control of the oil refinery. The purpose of this was to hack all the systems of the oil company by bringing them under his control, from which he was going to get a lot of money. Chris told Owen that he could not believe he had made such a big plan and that he was not going to support him anymore. Chris told Owen to give him his money so he could leave. Owen told him that some more work was left and after that he would get his money. He told him that Luo and his team were coming after him because he had kidnapped the professor. But Chris got into the car and decided to leave. Henry insisted that Chris help them complete the work, but Chris told him that he wanted his money. Saying this, he left from there. After Chris's departure, Henry told Owen that they would have to work without him. Owen killed Henry and then asked everyone to leave. Chris also reached his village and was furious at Henry because he had not told him the truth. He released his anger by hitting a picture. After that, he went out to play with the children to calm himself down while waiting for Henry to bring the money. Meanwhile, Luo, who was following Chris's car by helicopter, reached him and said he had come there to save his people. He knew Chris had kidnapped them and that his people were with him. Chris told him that he was only saving his villagers and was not behind the kidnapping of his people. So Luo decided to leave and keep an eye on Chris. After a few minutes, Chris got into his truck to return to Henry to get his money. But when he reached there, he found the dead body of Henry. Luo also reached there following Chris and entered the factory. As he got in, they began to fight. Chris thought that Luo had killed Henry, and Luo thought that Chris had kidnapped his people. But during the fight, Chris realized that Luo had not killed Henry. Suddenly, some French men entered the factory calling for Owen to give them weapons. But on seeing Luo and Chris, they began to fire at them. Both Chris and Luo hid inside the factory. Then Chris dropped a bomb on them which caused a big blast. After that, the Frenchmen ran away, but in this fight Chris's car was also destroyed. Took the professor along with her 4 workers to the oil refinery. There he tried to open the system, but there was a code on it. Owen asked the factory leader about the code, but she did not tell him, because of which he killed her 2 people. Seeing that, the factory leader became scared and Owen threatened to kill her son. Hearing this, the factory leader immediately told him that the code was in a pen drive which she had kept in her bag, but she did not know where it was. That was when the son of the factory leader told Owen to call on his mother's phone, which would tell him the location of her phone. The bag was with May, who was in Chris's village at that time. At the same time, Luo got the news of the buses reaching the green zone. May looked at Chris playing with the kids and asked Luo how he could trust Chris. Luo told her that Chris was a good man who thought for the good of people and they could trust him. That was when Chris got Luo's diary. He picked it up and brought it to him. They sat in front of each other on the table. Chris told Luo that he was very lucky to have May in his life, whose picture he kept in his diary. Luo told him that he was thinking wrong. Actually, May was his daughter. Hearing that, Chris apologized to him. Luo told him that when his wife died, he was not with May, because of which she was still angry with him. He told him that he came on this mission also so that he could save May, who worked in the oil factory. Chris told him not to worry, that everything would be fine, and that they would save everyone, and he told him that they would fight together. Then they heard the voices of some goons outside, so they went out and fought with them. There they came to know that Owen had sent them to take the bag of the factory leader, and that bag was with May. The goons had many weapons. They captured all the villagers and then asked for the bag of the professor, which had the pen drive in which the system code was locked. Chris gave them that bag and they left after taking it. After this, Luo and May became angry with him. Then Chris told them that he could not put the lives of the entire village in such danger. In the morning, Chris asked May what was in the bag that she was not ready to give. She told him that there was a pen drive in that bag with which all the systems of the oil factory could be hacked, and the whole city of Baghdad could be transferred anywhere. This system also had oil smuggling in it, and after 8 hours they could sell oil to any country or city. And if this happened, it would be the biggest theft of oil till that time. On the other hand, a number of ships were sailing on the sea, whose captain was talking to Owen on the phone. Chris and Luo had also left the village, but May felt that they would need her, so she took Chris's car and went behind them. The goons had also reached Owen with the bag. Owen told the professor to open the lock from the pen drive by giving her the bag. As she put the pen drive in the system, the whole system turned on. Then she put the code from the diary. Owen told them to fill oil in the trucks, but it took 24 hours to do this. After some time, Chris and Luo also reached Owen's factory on their truck and were competing with his goons. Luo climbed on a pipe and began to fight with Owen's goons. Owen was watching all this secretly. He told his men that he was getting out of there, and that once the trucks were filled, they should kill the professor and her son. Chris also went inside the factory and started fighting with the goon. Meanwhile, he saw outside and discovered that Owen was running away from there. He decided to follow him. While running, he met May on the way, who came there driving the car, and reached him. Now they both got in the car together and followed Owen. On the other side, Luo was competing with Owen's goons in the factory. He ended everyone one by one, and then the professor came and said that everything was ruined. On the way, when Chris was following Owen, May sped the car and made it jump. But the car got into an accident and turned over. They both got out of the car. Chris began to get angry at May for the condition of the car. Meanwhile, Luo also reached there with a truck, so they got in the truck and went ahead with him. Chris told Luo the shortcut to reach Owen, and they released the rocket launcher from that truck, which increased the speed of the truck. Chris reached Owen and collided his truck with Owen's truck at a high speed, which caused a powerful explosion. Owen's car fell far away, and he became injured. He got out of the car and saw Chris. When he saw Chris, he swiftly hopped into his car and sped away from the scene. Luo called Chris back into the truck, but now the truck was leaking. Chris covered the holes and told them to follow Owen at full speed. They did the same. Chris was now hanging with the truck. They came close to Owen's car at the high speed of the rocket launcher, due to which the truck also lost its control. Luo tied a rope to Owen's car and tied the other end to May's waist. He told everyone to jump out of the truck. The truck dropped into the huge ditch. Now Luo and May were hanging down the ditch, held by Owen's car. Owen smiled and tried to push rocks down to make them fall, but his car slipped and fell down. Luo and May fell on a rock. Luo quickly removed the rope around her waist, and they were safe. They began to look for Chris, but they could not see him anywhere and thought that he had died. Then May saw Luo's diary hanging out of his pocket. She took the diary and saw a picture of her and her mother in it. Seeing that, Luo told her that he loved her and her mother very much and never wanted to separate from her. Hearing that, May began to cry and said that she understood, and she hugged him. Meanwhile, Chris grabbed Luo's leg from below, as he was still alive, and then Luo and May pulled him up. All three were saved. But now the problem was how to get out of there. Then an idea came to Luo's mind, and he said that they should call others for help. After a while, they also caught the German ship to which Owen had sold the oil. Luo and Chris together also solved the problem of water in the village. The movie ended with Luo being ready to go on another mission with his team, and he happily agreed.